everybody, it's Mike Yanessa. Welcome to another episode of Car Stories here on PCTV. We're at the Classic Auto Mall in Morgantown for the Camaro Nationals. And boy, there's a lot of nice cars here today. If you remember some of the other shows, we did a story on the Classic Auto Mall. It's located in Morgantown. It's 330,000 square feet. There's about 800 cars for sale. And they're opening up the hotel next door and the area for car clubs. For example, the Model A Club was here a few weeks ago. Well, this week is Camaro and Firebird Nationals. So you'll see some of the nicest Camaros in the world. Old ones, new ones, stockers, customized. So let's check them out, Gus. Look at this parking lot full of Camaros. So when you talk about Camaros or Corvettes, there's always the generation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one here is a 2010 SS Red. Very nice car, supercharged. It's been modified, very well done. And you'll see aside of it a beautiful black Z28. It's got the split bumper everybody wants with the rubber, 2 little bumpers. Nice car. And then you go all the way back to the first gen, this red 67. So you'll see everything here at the Camaro Nationals. I went to the Camaro Nationals when it was at Poconos in the 90s. And then it was at GM Carlisle, up at Carlisle, PA. And then for years, it was in Fredericksburg, Maryland. Well, this year, for the first time, and I hope it's forever, it's at the Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown. We got cars for sale. We got a flea market. We got indoor judging, outdoor judging. We got clubs from New York, Ontario, Canada, Ohio Camaro Club. I mean, the list goes on and on and on where these cars traveled. Some people drove them here. Some people trailered them in. So if you want to see some nice Camaros, it's at Classic Auto Mall. So, Gus, there's some more down here we got to look at. So check out this Houndstooth interior. Did you ever see one like this? Big Red's got the traditional Houndstooth, the black and white. This car is a very rare car because it has Daytona yellow paint and the yellow Houndstooth interior, and it's a 307 car automatic. Most of the ones you see, which are very few, with the yellow Houndstooth, are usually Z28s or you know, a big block or something fancy. This is a pretty much a base model Camaro with like power steering and V8 automatic, but it's really cool colors. Daytona yellow with the yellow Houndstooth. And check out those hubcaps. They look like mag wheels, but they're really hubcaps, and they are from GM. They're factory hubcap. So, does this car look familiar? Yes, it's Big Red, and it's done. It's here at the Camaro Nationals. I went to GM 2 weeks ago, and here, it's the first 2 shows for the car, and I've seen a bunch of old friends. Everybody likes the car, and I got to admit, I'm proud to have it here, and I'm glad to say that it's finally done. I got some suspension tuning to do when it comes back, and mufflers. Other than that, the car runs, it drives. Really ecstatic that after 45 years and the 4th restoration, Big Red is done. So, Gus, let's check it out and show the viewers what it looks like. You've watched all the shows of me building it. Now you get to see it finished. So there she is. There's the interior with the Houndstooth interior, the rare red fuzzy Hurst shifter handle, like the only one I've ever seen, from the 60s or 70s. A little bit of old school, new school, like I've been saying all along. And it's running good. Everything's working. Like I said, it's just a big relief to have it here, shined up for everybody to look at. So there's that smooth bumper that I had a lot of hours in making. Had it re-chromed at LeBrondi's. They did a great job. And the LED lights, and the black taillight panel. And I got to say, it looks good. I even dug this out, Gus. Check this out. From 1985, my original fire jacket. Now they're like thick and really fireproof. This was just like a cotton jacket that they called a fire jacket. You had to wear them. Got my original helmet from 1985. And this here saves me a lot of talking because this tells the whole story from when Kelly owned it in 1978 when it was just a little yellow 6-cylinder Camaro through the first restoration, the second restoration, of course, the terrible accident that I'm sure all my viewers know about by now, the magazines it was in, Carcraft Magazine, 1990, my good friend Ed Quay used my shop to take pictures of a kit for a 84 Camaro, and Carcraft came, fell in love with my car, did a story on my car, and didn't do the story on his. And boy, did I catch hell from Ed. 1985 or 1995 at the Camaro Nationals that Carl was talking about at the Poconos, Chevy High Performance Magazine picked my car because it was a real race car that actually raced. It wasn't towed around in a trailer like it is now. It had rubber on the quarter panels. I just raced at Maple Grove the week before. And then the pictures go pretty much in order through the crash, through the restoration, and then I'll just read the end to you because I like it. The end is, after 4 decades of owning Big Red, I'm so glad I still have the car and the special girl who sold it to me so many years ago. Thank you, Kelly. And everybody knows Kelly. So among all these beautiful Camaros, Big Red is here. So, like I said, there's a lot of club cars here, different Camaro clubs from all over the country. The Maryland Camaro Club, Ohio. This one's club right here, all these black ones are from the upstate New York, and all the ones down there are the Long Island, New York Camaro Club. I mean, look at that array of Camaros. Beautiful. We got modified ones, got a couple stockers. The orange convertible was absolutely beautiful. And when I left last night, all these black Camaros came in as a group. Last night they got together here at Classic Auto Mall, and they had a Camaro cruise. There was over 100 and some cars. They drove the Shady Maple, which is, 15 minutes away from here. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it, but wow, what a sight. When we were leaving last night, the Holiday Inn that adjacents the Classic Auto Mall was loaded with Camaros and people unpacking their suitcase. So don't let anybody tell you there's not luggage room in a Camaro, because these people had coolers, suitcases, like they were staying for a week. So a lot of the people from out of state are staying right here at the Holiday Inn, and the show is right in the lobby. So Camaro was lucky enough to pace the Indianapolis 500 in 1967, 1969, 1982, and this one, which is a 93. They only made 645 of these cars in 93. It had the psychedelic stripes on it. They were all black and white. The interior is to match. And at the time, that was the latest technology to be able to get a computer to duplicate those stripes in fabric. You could put your face on a seat. You could put anything on a seat with this new technology, which now seems old, but in 1993, it was the latest and the greatest. Why do I know a lot about this particular car? I bought one new in 1993, and we loved it. We had it for a few years, many years, and we sold it, in the early 2000s. But 93 Indy 500 pace car, low production. There was maybe, I'm going to say 20 or 30 of them they actually used at the track, and then each dealer that sold the most Camaros got to pick if they wanted a pace car Camaro. And 645 cars. My car was number 638. So every time I come to one of these shows, I like to look at these to see if it's my car. We sold it to a couple in Ohio, and like I said, the early 2000s. So just a neat car, a lot of fun. LT1, automatic, T-tops. So you'll see everything here at the Camaro Nationals. So we got to look at all the Camaros on the outside of the building. Now we're in one of the many areas in the building with some cars, Camaros, and we're here with Carl Sheffey, the founder of the American Camaro Association, and he has worked very hard to get the show off with many helpers. And thank you, Carl, for doing a great job this year at Morgantown with the Camaro Nationals. So how's it going? You okay?
Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, I bet. It's a lot of work to put on something like this. It's mainly done by who? The clubs? Volunteers? How's it work?
The way it works, the American Camaro Association is the overall umbrella that we try to keep the clubs in the United States, the Camaro clubs, connected in some way, shape, or form. It's kind of a loose-knit group compared to maybe some other marquees.
Right.
A lot of it's done on the internet today.
But back before the internet,
Yeah, back before the internet.
you'd be licking stamps and
Yep, well,
trying to get it.
and that got a little expensive real quick. We used to have a newsletter and everything, and but that got tough.
Yeah.
Even mailing T-shirts today is quite expensive.
Yes.
So we no longer have a printed publication, but one of the things we did from the beginning is we put together the Camaro Nationals. When the International Camaro Club no longer continued in the Poconos,
Right.
the track up at Long Pond invited between the Indy cars and the stock cars.
Mm-hmm.
They added extra dates, and we got bumped.
Ah.
NASCAR was a little bigger than us.
Happened.
Yeah,
I was at the Poconos when he's talking about many years ago. My kids were little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when Pocono expanded, we lost our dates.
Yes.
And the lady was running it very, very, very devoted. She said, you know what, it's time to let go. So in '98, there was no major Camaro event on the East Coast, and a couple buddies and stuff, and said, can't let this happen.
No,
you gotta have a big show. So we then started the Camaro Nationals.
At GM? Or
Well,
at
no,
Carla?
actually, there was no GM show.
Oh, there wasn't? You're right. Not yet.
No, there never
Not
was.
yet.
There
Not
was Ford, there
98.
was Chrysler, there was everything else. There was never any traction for GM
At Carlisle.
at Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah,
just
you're
couldn't
right.
do it. They tried it and did it. So we talked to, at the time, Chip was around, and Chip and Bill and Lisa Leathery, and we said, we'd like to do this. We'd like to rent part of the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
How much can we get for $500?
Right, right. Right,
that's what I can afford in my
What's
checking
the deal?
account. Yeah.
Right.
So
Wow.
they said, we got a better idea. We'll let you share with Summer Carlisle, which is bikes and different things.
Yep.
You get the Camaros going, and once you get 200-300 Camaros, maybe 5 years from now, we'll use that as the anchor to build GM. Okay? It's fine with me, right?
Right.
So we did that, and the second year already, they said, hey, we're there, let's do it.
And that's how GM Carlisle was
That's
born.
how GM got
Wow,
started.
I did not know that.
So that went on for quite a while. In the end, the indoor spaces and stuff, they just couldn't give us what we needed as we expanded.
Right.
So we left and moved to Frederick, Maryland.
Right.
We were there for another 11 years.
Wow.
And finally, my thick-headed Dutch brain said, Dad always said I was thick-headed.
Yeah.
That was my date. That was the date we were at Carlisle, and
Yeah.
I kept the date.
Yeah, right.
But, it was their date, too, for GM. So
Right.
sharing the date just wasn't good for the hobby.
No.
And actually, that guy right out there from Camaro Central,
Oh, yeah.
he
yeah.
called me. He says, you know what? For the good of the hobby, get over it. Change the date.
Let's do it. Yes.
I said, you're right. You're right. So
So we wound
that's
up
what
here.
happened. So we ended up here, which I really couldn't run the show from Macungie all the way to Frederick, Maryland. The number of trips back
Right.
and forth just wasn't realistic.
No,
So
this is doable for you. Yep.
it's doable, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get down to Pottstown nights and stuff, so
Yeah.
this is doable.
Good. Well, thank you, Carl. I mean, I know all the hard work behind the scenes and all the people that helped you, and we're here, and it's a great show.
Yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, and that's the main thing. It is a club. I mean, I'm one person, and
I know,
and
yeah.
I do the planning.
Yep.
But the Lehigh Valley Camaro Club, the Northeast Ohio Club, the Long Island Camaro Club, that's where all the people come from. They're the ones doing the
Yep.
the
So
day-to-day
it's
work
all
out there.
volunteer.
All volunteer. And matter of fact, we have a banquet tonight and a charity auction of Camaro parts.
Right.
And all the money goes to a charity.
And that's so cool.
A children's home in Harrisburg.
Oh, that's nice. All right, Carl. Well, I know you're busy, so get back to work. And thanks a lot for having the Camaro Nationals at Morgantown.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right, all you experts out there, what year is this car? 1969 Z28 Rally Sport. Wrong answer. It's a 2002, all done up to look like a 69 Rally Sport. So you got your convertible, you got your air conditioning, you got your LT1 engine, you got all the modern stuff of a 2002 Camaro, but it looks like a 69. This guy drove all the way from Oregon, Ohio. And he says on here, custom Houndstooth seat covers, over 400 man-hours in bodywork alone. The bumpers and many other parts bolted on directly from a 69 Camaro. So there's one you won't see every day. So between the two rooms at the Camaro Nationals is an indoor flea market. Camaro Central's here. You can buy gold jewelry for your wife. You can get insurance on your classic car. You can buy parts, toys. This is my stand here. Kelly's watching it for me while I'm doing the show. And it's great. You see people you haven't seen for a while. You might find something you need for your car, and it's just a lot of fun. So indoor flea market, outdoor flea market here at the Camaro Nationals. So how many of you out there knew that Camaros were built for the state police? It's the B4C package. We have this one behind us, nice black one. But we're here today with Pat, who's got this 1992?
Yes, sir.
Built for the Utah State Police?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about this car, Pat. It's really cool.
It's one of 22 built. It's a Survivor. They tested several different cars. They started with the 350, but they blew up 3 transmissions.
Automatic?
Automatic, so they switched to the 305s. This is actually a 5-speed manual transmission stick. Can you imagine talking on the radio, shifting at the same time, driving?
Wow, it makes me want to be a cop back then, man. If I get to drive a Camaro, are you kidding me?
You get to drive a Camaro.
Stick shift?
Oh, yeah.
And you mean Survivor, like this is pretty much the way it was?
This is exactly the way it is.
Wow, it's in beautiful shape.
Thank you, sir.
Nice, nice car. How many miles are on it?
Oh, I think it's like
A lot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was used, but it was well kept.
Oh, yes.
Wow, do you drive it around or just trailer it or?
It does not go on. Does not go on the road in this configuration. As you see, it's covered up and disconnected. But it
Right.
does go. It does go down the road.
Could you get in trouble?
I have written permission from the state of Utah to own it. It is real McCoy.
Are you from Utah?
No, sir. I'm not out of Michigan. I actually.
Michigan?
I own 3 different patrol cars.
Oh, that's your thing, huh?
That is.
Were you a cop?
No, sir.
You
I do
just
volunteer
like it?
work with law enforcement.
Wow, it is just a neat car. And
Thank you,
thanks for bringing it here to the Camaro Nationals.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. So this is right aside of the car being judged, the 70 Z28, 69 Z28. Beautiful car. You know I'm partial to red with black stripes, but this is one of the nicest ones you'll see. Meaning that the hose clamps, the markings, the screws, everything about this car and the cars in this building are done to factory specs. Depending on what factory, could have been Norwood, Ohio, could have been Los Angeles. So you have to, early car, late car, you really have to do your homework when you're restoring one of these. You bring it here and you let the judges tell you how good you did. 69 Rally Sport Z28. So in the other room, it was just for a display. In this room, it's a lot more serious. This car is getting judged. It's a 70 Z28 Survivor, meaning it has original paint, original motor, interior. It only has 30,000 miles on it?
33,000.
33,000. This is the owner right here. It's Tina, and she's getting it judged for the Legends. And look at these guys. They're under there with a flashlight. They're checking this. They're checking that. So when they're done with it, we'll know if there's anything wrong with it. And Joe, her husband, will probably fix the couple things that might be wrong with it, or they might say it's perfect. But Survivor means it's never been painted or messed with. And Tina, this is your car, huh?
Yes, I bought it about approximately 18 years ago.
Wow, that long.
Joey drives it mostly.
Yes.
We're being judged today for Legends.
For Legends.
Yes.
And why this car? The color, the year, why not a 68? I mean, you have a 67 convertible. I love that.
I do, and I love it too. And that's like an everyday driver. But this is a true Survivor.
And how'd you find it?
Through a friend.
Through a friend.
Through a friend. It was garage kept and well taken care of, and we've garage kept it. That's why the paint is pristine.
It's unbelievable. Like Joe
Yeah.
said, the paint on it.
It's pristine.
It is. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Wow. Well, good luck in getting your award today.
Thank you so much.
And it's a beautiful car.
Thank you
if,
very much.
If you want to sell it, Joe has my number.
Not for sale right now.
No? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Original owner, 1967 Yanko 427 Super Camaro. Wow, what a car. I don't even know how many of these are left or how many were made, but very, very few. Don Yanko at his dealership would take 396 cars, make them 427s, and sell them with a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. So this is a rare bear. It's beautiful, and he has all the documentation from new. Remember how I talked in other shows how documentation is important? Well, that adds a lot of money to this particular car. There's no faking it here. 1967 Yanko 427 Rally Sport Super Sport Camaro. Wow, look at this room. It's unbelievable the amount of perfect 69, 68, 70, even an 80s IROC convertible. But they're really, really nice. This red one aside of me is my friend Bill Clemens. He was on the show probably 10 years ago talking about this car. It was at the shop last week, and I gave him a nice buff job, and he took it home, and he is fussy when it comes to cleaning his car. And he's got it here. It's Bolero Red, the same color as Big Red, but this is a real one. This is one of 602 67 Z28s, and it's the only one with a bench seat. It has a bench seat. It has an 8-track tape player, fold-down back seat, 456 posi, semi-metallic rear brakes from the factory. This car is for sale. Bill wants to finish his JL8 car, the brown one that I did. So anybody that wants a beautiful 67 Z28, get a hold of Bill or me, because this is a nice one. So look at this one here, 67 Z28. They only made 602 of them, and I don't know how many they made in this color. It's called Capri Cream. And anybody that knows me remembers my car called Creamy. It was Capri Cream, and it was restored to a very high level, but it wasn't a Z28, and it wasn't the Rapid Rabbit 2. This is a famous race car. It raced a lot at Maple Grove, and it raced against a car called the Bad Bunny. They're still looking for the Bad Bunny. It's still missing. But Steve was lucky enough to find this car, and we actually met at GM Carlisle, and my friend Bill Clemens and I had pictures of this car racing the Bad Bunny at Maple Grove. So, Steve, tell us about this car. How'd you come about it?
Well, I've always wanted a 67 Z28. I saw one in 1989, and when I saw it and I saw the plenum air cleaner, I couldn't believe it. And
Did you know at that point it was this famous race car?
No, that wasn't this car. That was a different car, but it set it in motion.
That's what you like.
That I wanted one of these Z28s, and I've had a 67 big block. I've had a 67 RS, but this car is the one that I dreamed of. So about 3 years ago, I started looking again to see if I could find one.
Okay.
And I found this car advertised in Arkansas and took a ride down there. And when I saw it, I couldn't believe what I saw. And the person that had it didn't know the racing history of it.
Was it this nice?
Yes.
No kidding.
It was restored.
Wow.
He had restored it. It was a barn find. It was found in Rhode Island in 2012 and sold as a shell, but it was the original documented 4L Z28, and then he restored it.
And how'd you figure out it was the Rapid Rabbit? By the VIN or?
I was able to get some pictures from one of the past owner, and it had the trim tag number on it. So I was able to verify the car. So some interesting things about this car is that, it was sold new at King Chevrolet in Chester, PA, which is just south of Philly. After 1 year, it had a blown engine, which happened to a lot of these cars.
Yes, they did.
And it ended up at Mannheim Auto Auction. So Stan Spolsky and Lee Krupe, who's a famous race car builder, bought the car at auction with the blown engine, and Stan took it and he turned it into a car called Stan's Toy. And if you look at the pictures, you'll see the very first one is of Stan's Toy.
Okay. So it was that before the Rapid Rabbit?
Yes.
Wow.
And so then what happened, Stan ended up building Bad Bunny, as we all know, which we're still looking and trying to find. He sold this car to Al D'Adamio of Reading, PA.
Oh, yeah, right around the corner, yep.
And Al ended up renaming the car Rapid Rabbit 2. The first picture I have of Rapid Rabbit 2 is at the 1969 Superstock Nationals at York, PA, August 9th, 8th, and 9th of 1969.
Wow, that's really cool.
So once I got the car and I started discovering the history, I connected with Stan's son, and my phone just lit up with a bunch of pictures. I couldn't believe it. They had a matching car carrier. They had I mean, the car was raced as a C stock, then a D stock, and so I'm very blessed to be the caretaker of this car right now.
Wow, you should be, and it looks beautiful. And I understand through the rumor mill you drive this car a lot.
I do. I do. So when I got it, we made a decision to take it out to Jerry McNeish and see if we could certify it. I live in Chicago.
Chicago.
In Chicago.
Illinois.
Illinois. So we loaded the car up and we took a ride. First we came out here to Reading.
Right.
Lee Krupe was still alive.
Wow.
And he sat in the car. He signed the picture. He couldn't believe it, and he told me so much about this car. It just was amazing.
And it's nice that you have that information alive, that it's not going to be forgotten and you can carry it on. You know, that's what's cool. These cars every one of these cars lived a different life. And it's neat when you dig in like Steve did here and find out and talk to the guys that worked on it back in the day. And it's just unbelievable history. And it just looks great here today. Thanks for bringing it. And enjoy your 67 Z28. I know you will.
I will. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so this room here that we've been interviewing people in is your invitationals. These cars were invited here. They picked the best ones. And it's no judging, no nothing. Just here for display and people to look at some really nice Camaros. Like this black one aside of me, 67, big block, old tires on it. Look at the lacy paint job on the nose stripe. Not original, hot rod. In this room, you'll find hot rods, you'll find originals, cop cars, you'll find anything. But it's some of the nicest Camaros in the country. I'm going to take you to another room where they do the high-level judging. That's where your car gets judged for the bow tie or the Legend Award, or where they put the car up on the lift and really decipher everything about the car. So if you get awards over there, you know that that car is done correctly. So check out some of these cars in this room here at the Camaro Nationals, and we're going to be going over to the other room where they're judged. Again, these are all for display only for people to look at. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's show here on PCTV. Unfortunately, we're coming to the end, and again, the cars in this room are just unbelievable. Check out this big block, stick shift, 67 pace car. Remember we looked at the 93? Well, this was the first one to pace the Indianapolis 500 in 1967. And the big block, stick shift, is the most valuable one. Convertible, blue and white. The side of it, white Rally Sport Z28 with the Enduro front bumper. The first rubber bumpers were on Camaros and GTOs. Now every car has a rubber bumper. So we could go on and do 3 shows from here, but unfortunately we're out of time. So thanks everybody for tuning in to Car Stories. I'm Mike Yanessa, and I'll see you next month.